Alright, what's up, folks? Rich Van Tassel back with you. I was out, so I didn't do the recaps of the 7 o'clock games, so I'll just do everything. We got the Sunday night game that just went final, and we'll give you the recaps of all the 4 o'clock games. Now, starting with the Arizona Cardinals, knew that we're going to beat Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay not ready for this one. They've shown that they're not ready for the next step this season. Arizona up to 3-3 with the 38-33 victory, 2-1 at home. Tampa Bay drops to 2-3, 0-2 at home. Ryan Fitzpatrick came in for an injured Jameis Winston. I'm going to make note of this, and I'll actually do it right now because I just saw the thing that Colin Kaepernick is filing a grievance citing collusion. You know, all you fuckers out there, and yeah, I'm calling you fuckers, your cocksuckers, your dickheads, your whatever you want to say, that Colin Kaepernick isn't good enough, it's this, that, and the other thing, and there's no collusion. Just fucking stop. Ryan Fitzpatrick is not a better quarterback than Colin Kaepernick. And Colin Kaepernick is much more similar to the quarterback that Jameis Winston is. And you had a situation where Jameis Winston went down, and you're a team that it went 9-7 last year, has to have playoff aspirations, and you're going to turn to Ryan Fitzpatrick. 22 of 32, 290 yards for Fitzpatrick. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and this wasn't even like a terrible game for him. I just want to point this out. Anyone watching this who's gonna try to act like you're smart and know what you're talking about, and you know shit talking about Colin Kaepernick, you don't know a damn thing. He's being colluded against. So all you fuckers commenting, on comment boards, oh, Colin Kaepernick's not good enough. Just fuck off. All right. Jameis Winston was 5 for 10, 61 yards before he went out. Back to the game. Sorry, I had to rant with that. Doug Martin, 14 of 53, 3.8 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 3 of 10, 3.3 yards per rush. The team, 21 of 68, 3.2 yards per rush, 1 touchdown overall. Mike Evans, 3 receptions, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. As you would expect going against Patrick Peterson, he gets the better of him at times. Peterson gets the better of him at times. Peterson was getting the most of the better situations, but Evans still had a decent game. Cameron Brate, 6 of 76, the other touchdown, or 1 touchdown. Adam Humphrey, 6 of 51. Deshaun Jackson, 3 of 38. He had the other touchdown. Levante David recovered a fumble. The team had 2 sacks. Clint McDonald and Gerald McCoy haven't called Gerald McCoy's name much this season. Brent Grimes had a 39-yard interception. Bernard Reedy, a punt return of 10 yards. There were no kick returns. Patrick Murray did not attempt any field goals. Looks like Nick Folk is out. And you can't blame him. The guy's confidence was shot. Carson Palmer was pretty spectacular in this game. 18 to 22, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Adrian Peterson, maybe he's not done. 26 carries, 134 yards, 5.2 yards per rush, 2 touchdowns. Let's see what happens next week, though. J.J. Nelson had a 16-yard rush. The team altogether 35 of 160, 4.6 yards per rush, 2 touchdowns. That includes 5 carries for negative 4 yards. By Carson Palmer. So 4.6 yards per rush, and you have that, weighing the numbers down. That's good. Larry Fitzgerald, spectacular, 10 of 138, 1 touchdown. John Brown, 3 of 63, 1 touchdown. Jermaine Gresham, 2 of 32. Troy Nicholas, 2 of 20, and the other touchdown. Earl Wofford recovered a fumble. Larry Fitzgerald lost a fumble. Carson Palmer fumbled and recovered a fumble. Adrian Peterson fumbled. It was not lost. 1 sack belonged to Chandler Jones. Antoine Bethea and Tramon Williams had interceptions. Karen Williams, a 28-yard kick return. Patrick Peterson had a punt return of 0 yards. Phil Dawson 1 for 1 in his field goal. So, hey, Arizona's 3-3. They're still right there in that division. You had the Rams winning today. Seattle is on bye, so they're right there. That is a very winnable division at this point. Tampa Bay had some injuries in the secondary, and they took advantage of it. For the Buccaneers, you're in trouble with Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's not better than fucking Colin Kaepernick, folks. Let's see how long Jameis Winston is out for. But Tampa Bay, you really got to be disappointed. Their defense has got to figure the things out in the secondary. They had the injuries. The guy was out. I don't even remember who it was. Josh Robinson, whatever the fuck his name was. He was out, but you have the situation where you just let Arizona do whatever they wanted. Arizona does have a good passing game, but Tampa Bay's got to be disappointed. If you want to take the next step, you got to find a way to go on the road and win these games. The Los Angeles Rams, nice bounce-back victory for them, going cross-country with a 27-17 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jared Goff, 11 of 21, 124 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It just still baffles me how the Cowboys' defense is that bad that Jared Goff was going all over the place. Goff's played well, don't get me wrong. Jacksonville is a good secondary, but Jeez, Todd Gurley, 23 carries, 116 yards, 5 yards per rush. Malcolm Brown, 3 of 17, 5.7 yards per rush. Robert Woods receiving, or the team altogether running 32, 142, 4.4 yards per rush. Gurley's really come on this year. A nice bounce back season for him. Robert Woods, 5 of 70 receiving. Cooper Kupp, 2 of 35. Sammy Watkins, 1 of 11. Joel Everett, 1 of 4. He had the only touchdown. Robert Woods lost the fumble. Farrell Cooper fumbled and recovered a fumble. 5 sacks total, excuse me. 1 for Mark Barron, 1 for Connor Barron, 1 for Michael Brockers, 1 for Aaron Donald, 1 for Morgan Fox. Nikhil Roby-Coleman had an interception. He returned it 31 yards. Farrell Cooper had 2 kick returns of 124 yards. Longest of 103, however, that was a touchdown, of course. He had 3 punt returns for 17 yards. The Rams also blocked a punt for a touchdown. Greg Zuerlein 2 for 2 in his field goals. I don't know, I don't know where they put that. Because unless Farrell Cooper scored that touchdown as well on the block punt, I don't think that was him. I don't know what they include the block punt in the box score. Blake Bortles, 23 of 35, 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Leonard Fournette really starting to come on, 21 of 130, 6.2 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. Blake Bortles, 2 of 19. The team, 26 of 169, 6.5 yards per rush, and the touchdown. Marquise Lee, 5 of 83, receiving. Chris Ivory, 9 of 74. He had the only touchdown. 3 of 37 for Allen Hurns. Ben Koyak, 1 of 21. Patrick Omamea recovered a fumble. Aaron Coleman recovered a fumble. Cam Robinson recovered a fumble. Blake Bortles fumbled twice, did not lose any of them. 3 sacks. Calais Campbell had 2. Telvin Smith had the other. Dante Fowler Jr. did not have one. No interceptions, no kick returns. Max McCaffrey, a punt return, but of no yards. Jason Myers, 1 for 3 in his field goals. In the game, you lose by 10 points. Jacksonville, hey, it's just always something with them that's keeping them from winning. Blake Bortles, pretty good. Nothing terrible in this game. Nothing that Blake Bortles did is the reason they lost. As for the Los Angeles Rams, Todd Gurley continues to impress. That's big for them this season. He came on nicely, and as we said with Jared Goff has had these games where he hasn't, thrown the ball particularly well, and 10 incompletions on 21 passes. It's not even that just conservative. He did not have a good game in this one, but they still found a way to win. Granted, you get 14 special teams points, you're going to do so, and God, the Cowboys, their secondary is just awful. Told you this one too. Pittsburgh, 19-13. I knew they were going to Kansas City and getting that win. There was little doubt in my mind that was going to happen. 4-2 for Pittsburgh, 3-1 on the road. Kansas City 5-1, 2-1 at home. Ben Roethlisberger, 17-25, 252, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Le'Veon Bell, very nice, 32 of 179, 5.6 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. James Conner, 2 of 14. Altogether, 37 of 194, 5.2 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. Antonio Brown, 8 receptions, 155 yards, 1 touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 3 of 32. Martavis Bryant, 2 of 27. He's asking for a trade now. Antonio Brown fumbled and recovered a fumble. 3 sacks. James Harrison, 2 for Vince Williams. No interceptions. Juju Smith-Schuster, 11-yard punt return. 11-yard kick return. Antonio Brown, 1 punt return of no yards. Chris Boswell, 1 for 1 in his field goals. Alex Smith for the Chiefs. Welcome back to earth, Alex Smith. 19-34, 246. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Kareem Hunt, 9 of 21. So the guys who've been playing so well all year did not have a good game, and Kansas City loses. It's 2.3 yards per rush. Alex Smith, 4 of 13. 3.3 yards per rush. The team, 15 of 28, 1.9 yards per rush, which is bad. Granted, they're brought down by a negative 9-yard carry by Tyreek Hill, but 15 of 37 is nothing to write home about either. Kareem Hunt, top receiver, 5 of 89. DeAnthony Thomas, 3 of 61, a touchdown. Travis Kelce, 4 of 37. Tyreek Hill, 5 of 34. Just a bad game all the way around for the Chiefs. Their playmakers were held in check. Zach Fulton, 1 fumble. It was not lost or recovered. D. Ford had the only sack. Marcus Peters did have an interception. Hats off to him. But it looks like Antonio Brown got the better of the matchup all game long. But Marcus Peters is going to get his at times. Akeem Hunt, 2 kick returns, 46 yards, the longest of 29, average of 23, pretty consistent there. Tyreek Hill, 3 punt returns for 39 yards, average of 13, but a longest of 32. You take that off, it's 2 for 7. Harrison Butler, 2 for 2 in his field goals. I'm not going to read too much into this with Kansas City. Look, Pittsburgh, I knew they were going to win. It was as sure as the sun rising in the East, man. After they got embarrassed against Jacksonville, they were going to go on the road and get the victory against the Kansas City Chiefs. They just outplayed Kansas City in this game. You see the numbers down. Pittsburgh had the game plan. They weren't embarrassed. They came out and did what they needed to do. They shut down Kareem Hunt. They kept Alex Smith in check, and they kept Travis Kelce in check, and they came away with the victory. Hats off to them. And as we saw, they got Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown really cooking at the same time in the same game, but yet only scored 19 points, so something to keep an eye on. Giants getting their first win of the season, 23-10 over the Denver Broncos. Giants are 1-5, 1-3 on the road. Denver 3-2, 3-1 at home, and I don't even want to look at the Trevor Siemian numbers because I doubt they were very good, and he torched the Cowboys as well. Eli Manning, 11 of 19, 128 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He must have been awful in this game if the Giants are winning by 13 points with those numbers by Eli. Arlen's Darkwa, 21 carries, 117 yards, 5.6 yards per rush. Wayne Gallman, 9 of 27, 3 yards per rush. The team, 32 of 148, 4.6 yards per rush. Evan Ingram, 5 receptions, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. Roger Lewis, 1 of 15. Arlen's Darkwa, 1 of 13. Tavares King getting in the action with a 7-yard catch. He had a big catch last year for the Giants. I think he had one in the playoff game or the last game of the season. He has not been heard from, but you're as short receivers, you come away with the win. Eli Apple recovered a fumble. Eli Manning fumbled and recovered a fumble. 4 sacks. Damon Harrison and Jason Pierre-Paul had 3. Janoris Jenkins returned an interception, 43 yards for a touchdown. Landon Collins had the other. No kick returns. Ed Egan 1 for 20 in his field goals. Aldridge Rosas 3 for 4. Ed Egan 1 kick return for 20 yards. Aldridge Rosas 3 for 4 in his field goals for the Broncos. I don't even want to look at this. Trevor Siemian 29 of 50 to 376 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So I mean he got yards against the Giants, but just still not a guy who should be torturing the Cowboys the way he did. Brock Osweiler was 2 of 4 for 18 yards. Jamal Charles, top rusher, 5 of 19, 3.8. C.J. Anderson, 9 of 17, 1.9. The team, 17 of 46, 2.7 yards per rush. Demaryius Thomas, 10 receptions, 133. How did Denver only score 10 points? The fumble story, I guess, would say it, 2 interceptions, but you look at these numbers. Demaryius Thomas, 10 of 133. Devontae Booker, 4 for 78. Emmanuel Sanders, 5 of 76. Jordan Taylor, 3 of 26. Jeff Heuerman, 2 of 24. He had the only touchdown. Demaryius Thomas lost the fumble. Trevor Siemian fumbled and recovered it. Same with Isaiah McKenzie. So you did have 3 turnovers, but still, with those numbers, they only scored 10 points. I don't know what went on in this game. 3 sacks. Adam Gostis, Von Miller, Shaquille Barrett. No interceptions. Brandon Langley, 2 kick returns for 75 yards, the longest of 47. And you had a 47-yard kick return. I got to see what happened in this game. I got to watch the highlights. Isaiah McKenzie, 3 punt returns for 17 yards. Brandon McManus, 1 for 3 in his field goal. So I guess that's part of it. But still, those numbers would still speak more to 16 points, even if he made both those field goals. Hats off to the Giants going on the road, getting the victory. You've got to give it to them in this one. Things could have really gone wrong for them this year. Not that they're not going wrong for them, and not that this is really going to amount to much for the Giants this season, but you're without the receivers and you're able to get the victory, so give them credit. As for the Denver Broncos, look, they have been up and down. Of course, like everyone else is going to be this year, they're going to be up on the Cowboys, but they're down in this one. Trevor Siemian, look, he threw the ball a ton, had some yards. Is he the answer? Is he not the answer? He's certainly shown he's proficient enough. They were helped out with the Kansas City loss, but it really looks like the Chiefs are going to go away with this division, and Denver's going to hover right around 9-7 again this year. The defense is good. The offense still just too inconsistent with the quarterback play. All right, I'm going to do my best to get the NBA done tomorrow night. I will have everything done some way, somehow before the start of the season on Tuesday night. Can't believe they're starting it this early, but it is what it is. Celtics are playing, so I'm excited about that. I'll give you the Monday night preview tomorrow and the Monday night recap at some point tomorrow. We might have to do that Tuesday. We'll see. I'll get that all figured out. Just be sure to stay tuned. Remember, we appreciate all subscriptions as well. Have a good night, folks.